Good evening to all. In today's Gospel, Luke chapter 18, verses 9 to 14, we see consistent and steadfast prayer marks God's people. Rather than being overcome by trials and tribulations, God's people actually continue in prayer, and the result is a stronger faith. So whether it's an extreme trial or the very mundane, persevering prayer is Jesus' answer. Today we are going to look at two people who offer to God very different prayers. Both prayers reveal something about the hearts of these men. One man felt that he had enough righteousness within himself to be justified before God, and the other realized his utter hopelessness and placed himself on the mercy of God. We come to church each week, listen attentively to scripture, and we have learned that we should always be humble. The Pharisee has set himself apart from others by his faithful adherence to the law. So before we judge him too quickly, we might reframe his prayer slightly and wonder if we have uttered it ourselves. As in the Gospel, his prayer of gratitude may be spoken to the Lord, but it is really about himself. He locates his righteousness entirely in his own actions and being. The tax collector, on the other hand, knows that he possesses no means by which to claim righteousness. He has done nothing of merit. This reason, he stands back, hardly daring to approach the temple, and throws himself on the mercy of Lord. Here is the essential contrast. One makes a claim to righteousness based on his own accomplishments, while the other relies entirely upon the Lord's benevolence. In Pharisee's mind, there are two kinds of people, the righteous and the immoral, and he is grateful that he has placed himself among the righteous, while the tax collector, all he recognizes as he stands near the temple is his own great need. He therefore stakes his hopes and claims not on anything he has done or deserved, but entirely on the mercy of God. Rather, this parable is about God who alone can judge the human heart, God who determines to justify the ungodly. At the end of this story, the Pharisee will leave the temple and return to his home righteous. This hasn't changed. He was righteous when he came up and righteous as he goes back down. The tax collector, however, will leave the temple and go back down to his home justified. That is, accounted righteous by the Holy One of Israel. When this happens and we forget it for a moment, our human constructed divisions, and stand before God, aware only of our need, then we too are justified by the God and invited to return to our homes in mercy, grace, and gratitude. Thank you.